What can I do about my and my partner's behaviors? Went to pick up my girlfriend in the heavy rain for a social dancing event, wasn't able to get a hold of her with 2 knocks and a text. Went to the dance venue assuming she was there, got wet from the rain, got a reply to my text, went back to her place, 10 minutes away, she asked why I was so wet and all she had to say after explaining was, "Why didn't you try calling me? Why didn't you try the door? Why didn't you just tell me you were already at the place, instead of thanking me?" Though I wasn't mad about this at the time. At the venue, I dropped her off close to the door to keep her dry and parked the car, running back in the rain, getting soaked again lol. She was cool after that for a bit. We partook in the practice lesson and then I chose to sit aside when someone arrived late without a partner, not sulking, just being inclusive at a social dance event, i.e. just being a good dude. Eventually my partner came over and asked me to dance, I accepted, but I saw a different guy kind of haplessly standing on the dance floor looking around for a partner, so I suggested she practice with him, again, social event. She did, but afterwards came over to me and said in an aggressive tone, "Are you going to dance? Do you even want to do this?" I had been practicing for 40 minutes at this point, so it wasn't like I wasn't dancing, but I practiced with her specifically. I'm even enrolled in a dance class at the local university. After the practice rounds were over, everyone dispersed for a bit, we danced, she grabbed a drink, and we sat down. She mentioned that there was an attractive woman she had danced with in practice and she had a crush on her. Partner is bisexual. My partner asked if I wanted to dance, which I started to reply that I wanted to relax and talk with her a bit since we hadn't had time to talk at all yet, but before I could get the sentence fully out she jumped up and ran to dance with some random guy. Dancing with him wasn't the problem, immediately bailing on me was. After a song or two sitting, I went and danced with some random women, again, social dancing so encouraged. My partner sat back down and started to get hit on by that girl she had a crush on. After an hour dancing with a few different women, I was ready to go. I asked my partner if she wanted another dance, to which she refused as she had to watch the phone of the woman she met just an hour ago that was hitting on her. I tried suggesting we put the phone in my pocket, but she refused. I told her I was planning on going. My partner got really defensive and asked me why. I said I'm just done dancing, to which she replied with a dirty look and walking away. I asked her if we could talk and explained that I didn't like how she was talking to me that night. I think this is fair. She explained she didn't like my attitude and that I was being rude to her. To be fair, I didn't communicate why I wanted to leave very well and did tell her to calm down after she kept repeating "Are you okay?" or something like that. She started to talk about the girl that was hitting on her again, how hot she was, and how good it felt, at which point I said I didn't like my partner's behavior and didn't want to hear it. I can't remember what she said next, but it made me mad and I said I think we should break up. This is not what I want at all. I was just hurt by the way she was treating me and the things she was saying and wanted to get away. 100% I am awful for saying that instead of something else. She actually helped me move last weekend and there were zero problems between us, which I think is a good sign, at least from my perspective. She left the venue and I went after her and we ended up going to her place and discussing it. I felt, and still feel, awful about dropping the B-bomb when I really didn't mean it. She tried to console me, which I turned around on her since at the time I was the piece of shit that ruined the event with my insensitivity. Things worked out okay in the sense that we apologized to each other and moved on. We had sex then went to bed. At 5 a.m., I started to think more about why I lashed out. This is when I put together the parts I bolded above. I feel like it was continually diminished by her. I was going to write my thoughts down and talk about it later, but she awoke and noticed I wasn't sleeping. She tried to console me again and asked why I was upset. I, foolishly, told her I was upset about the above bolded parts. She got mad, left the apartment, then came back and told me that she wasn't doing this, we are breaking up, to leave, and then started to cry. I didn't leave and eventually she calmed down on her own. She was a bit distant but over time returned to baseline of being affectionate and at least on a surface level things were okay. She did imply at one point that we are still breaking up, I'm going to miss you a lot, but also said she doesn't want me to go and she is sorry she overreacted, and apologizing for the things she said and for not thinking about how I would feel about them. She said she just wanted to dance with me and I wasn't really engaging with her. She was also really upset that I implied that some random woman she met an hour ago would replace me, in my eyes at the time, and now, she basically shafted me for this woman. I think she even got her number. Here are my thoughts. I am not wrong that she treated me poorly last night, though please correct me if I am wrong. I think the whole woman crush thing was bordering close on emotional cheating. That said, I messed up big time in how I handled this whole situation. I should not have dropped the B-bomb or brought up my thoughts at 5 a.m. I genuinely want to change my behavior regarding this because I was toxic regardless of whatever she did. I feel very fucking ashamed of myself. On one hand, I feel like she mistreated me and I should leave her, but on the other I do not want to break up as I genuinely enjoy being with her 85% of the time. I am worried I have caused severe damage to our relationship that can't be repaired, as well as I am worried about the implications of her behavior last night moving forwards. I don't want this to be the end, but I also don't want things like this to continue to happen. Next story 2. I cheated on my boyfriend after 4 years of dating. I cheated on my boyfriend. We have been going out for 4 years, it was my first relationship. He is the greatest person I've ever met. I am not sure why I cheated. I kissed another boy last year when I was away overseas on holiday. I rang and told him immediately the next day. It was tough, but we worked through it and he forgave me. Kind of put it down to reckless curiosity, I don't know. We dated for nearly another year after that, but then I ended up sleeping with another person. Makes me sick to even say that sentence. I told my boyfriend what I did the next day and obviously he broke up with me. It's now been 3 months since we have broken up, and I am still distraught. I can't get over the overwhelming feeling of guilt and the fact that I fucked up my life so much. I know I don't deserve any kind words or advice, I am the shittiest person ever for what I did. There is no excuse for cheating, I cannot fathom what I did, my actions were disgusting and cruel. There is so much advice on the internet about what to do if you are cheated on. Or how to get over your toxic cheating etc. But is there any advice for the counterpart, for the person that did the cheating? How does one move past this and forgive themselves? I am riddled with guilt and sadness. I am scared about what kind of person I even am. I didn't know I was capable of such actions. My ex-boyfriend have somehow managed to stay friends throughout all of this. He is very kind and generous to still even be talking to me after what I did. I still love him, and so enjoy still being in contact with him. Maybe still being in contact with him isn't the best way to help me get over this chapter of my life and move on? But why would I cut contact with him? It is such a gift he is still willing to even be my friend, why would I cut that off? I just feel so sad and lost and guilty and hopeless. I don't know. Has anyone else cheated? How did they forgive themselves and move on? I feel like I just hate myself so much now and so am doing everything to self-sabotage my life. It sucks because I really believe he would have been my husband if it wasn't for this, and I'm never going to find anyone else like him. I fucked my whole life up. And I know there is no chance of us getting back together because this was the second time I cheated, the kiss overseas and then sleeping with someone, so after the second time it's really unforgivable. Plus all of his friends know what I did, so I could never show my face to them again. I know I don't deserve his forgiveness, and I am not asking for his forgiveness. But how do I forgive myself and let myself move on with my life? Actually, to be honest, I probably don't deserve to give myself forgiveness either. But how do I just stop living in self-turmoil and move on? Comment. In time you will forgive yourself. Take this as a learning experience, that kissing is the entry point to sleeping with someone. If kissing leads to this, what starts before kissing? Flirting. So, that means, the most minor interactions dictates the course of events. Your ex has been super nice tbh, I wouldn't even give you the time of the day, no offense. Learn from it. Never do it again. You will forgive yourself fully when you're put into similar positions, but choose the better option. One word. Therapy. Obviously, violating someone's trust is very bad, to put it mildly, and it is a good thing that you are aware of that one battle you've won. But there are also reasons to why someone would do that. I firmly believe we are products of our environment, and things like dysfunctional families, low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, childhood trauma, relationship trauma, etc. are a huge factor in the decisions we make. Often people self-sabotage or disassociate without a good logical reasoning, but with a reason nonetheless. It is vital for you to dig deep and understand why you did it. The most straightforward and reliable way to do it is to seek therapy. Not to give you an excuse for your behavior, but to understand how you get to that point and avoid it at all costs in the future. So until you find out more about yourself and equip tools to not repeat the same mistake, avoid getting into any intimate relationships to avoid unnecessary heartaches. You at least owe it to yourself. Good luck with your self-improvement journey. It will be a hard but rewarding experience.